Social media snaps show Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner posing for pictures in Portugal, listening in New Haven, Connecticut, smiling with other prosecutors in Houston, Texas, and linking arms in Selma, Alabama. Trips she took in 2018 and 2019 but did not disclose on travel reports as required by law. Sources tell News 4 some of the trips were paid for in full or in part by an organization called Fair and Just Prosecution, a group that professes to support progressive prosecutors. The group speaking out to applaud many of Gardner's actions, including the charges against Mark and Patricia McCloskey for brandishing guns in the Central West End last month. The group also supporting outspoken prosecutors like Marilyn Mosby in Baltimore, who has acknowledged she took a number of trips, saying they were properly reported. St. Louis County Prosecutor Wesley Bell, too, accompanied Fair and Just Prosecution on trips, one to Europe, but it's unclear if he ever disclosed them.
When something isn't reported, the public has the right to ask, well, why wasn't it?
Patrick Ishmael with the Show Me Institute says travel reporting requirements are important in building trust in government.
Elected officials have an obligation to be transparent, and that's especially true when it comes to travel relating to their duties, because the public wants to know that their officials are working for their interests and not for somebody else's.
St. Louis's laws require every elected official report their travel and whether it was paid for with public or private funds. Sometimes state law also mandates information about who paid for travel and lodging. In 2017, Gardner reported that Fair and Just Prosecution paid for trips to New York, Chicago, Seattle, and Philly. That year, she also filled out a city form that didn't mention those trips, but did disclose trips to Cleveland, D.C., and Atlanta. According to a public information request, she did not disclose any trips at all in 2018 or 2019. To that end, it's so far been unclear just how many trips she's been on. We also haven't known who went with her. The name tag for a contractor in her office, Maurice Foxworth, can be seen in this social media picture from Fair and Just Prosecution in October 2017.
Whether it's 1 or 100 trips like that ought to be reported, and I think the public should expect it.
In St. Louis, other elected officials are also failing to disclose their travel as required by law. For 2019, only Treasurer Tashara Jones, who listed 15 trips, and Mayor Lyda Crewson, who listed 5, properly submitted their forms by the May 1st deadline. But sources tell News 4 Gardner's traveling was prolific and problematic. She was unreachable on trips, they say, making it difficult to get decisions made.
It's also what wasn't happening in your office, or in this case, Circuit Attorney's office, because you were absent.
Ishmael says the laws requiring travel be reported need to be enforced.
If you're going to violate the law, there has to be some sort of consequence to that.
Saying the public has a right to know who's paying for what.
The best disinfectant is to just have the sun shine in.